let's get things started. Hey guys, Hattopy here. Pokemon throughout the ages have had some fantastic designs. However, there have been some that have been less impressive than others for a variety of reasons. Whether it be their designs aren't very good, or their stats or their moves they learn aren't very good, or whether they just don't have any potential at all. So with that said, today I wanted to take a look at a few of the ones that I find at least to be less impressive than others, in no particular order, but we'll just go through by generation. To kick it off, as much as people like to defend the roster for Generation 1's Pokemon for their originality and whatnot, and basically bash every other one because of lack thereof, I suppose, you have to admit that Generation 1 has had some pretty iffy Pokemon designs. Starting with the topic of today's video for this one, Voltorb. Hey, so we actually got the final design down for the little capsule that we're going to use to capture these pocket monsters. But we do need some more designs for the monsters that we're going to use. So, you know, just is there any ideas out there? That one. This one? No. See, this is the capsule that we're going to use to capture them. We're thinking of calling it a Pokeball, you know, play on words. But no. This can't be one. You know, is there anything else? That one. Okay. So now that's the same thing, but you just turned it upside down, you know. You don't have anything else? Why not both? Voltorb is one of the purest definitions of taking an everyday object and slapping eyes on it. Except this time around, the everyday object is a made-up one. Regardless, the thing that annoys me about Voltorb is that it does not learn any electric-type attacks naturally, making it basically an electric-type Geodude before we got an electric-type Geodude. In fact, Generation 3 is the first time that it's actually able to learn one naturally in Spark. Sure, there's some TMs, but Generation 1 only has Thunderbolt and Thunder, with Generation 2 having Zap Cannon and Thunder, with Zap Cannon coming in the second portion of the game, making it a long wait. And sure, you could argue that Abra can't even do damage until it evolves, unless you use TMs on it, and Magikarp sucks, and you wouldn't really be wrong, but at least they have the potential to become greater things like Alakazam and Gyarados. So really, Voltorb doesn't really have much in that department, and unless you're really like Electrode's stupid grin that suggests that it ate the last of my chocolate chip cookies. To me, there just really isn't much here in general. I'm not even really sure how to fix it that later generations didn't already do by adding stuff like the physical and special differences and new moves for it to learn and stat differences and all that other kind of stuff. Even for its design, there really isn't much that you could change. I don't know. Slap a racing stripe on there, I guess. Racing stripes are cool. Next up, we have Dunsparce. Now, I remember as a kid getting a call from Hiker Anthony telling me that, oh, hey, you know, there's these Dunsparce in Dark Cave. They're popping up all over the place. Go check it out. I was pretty excited, like, you know, Dunsparce, wonder what this thing is. And this guy's calling me like an unwanted telemarketer. Must be really important. So I backtracked all the way back to Dark Cave to go and check it out. And what I got was, you see, Dunsparce, despite its Pokedex entry saying that it's a land snake Pokemon, looks closer to a maggot, and maggots are gross. Sure, they kind of cutified it a little bit, but even then, it doesn't really look all that impressive. And what's not really helping is the fact that it's a pure normal type that doesn't evolve. And sure, that's not entirely its fault, that's more of a me thing. I'm not the biggest fan of pure normal types, nor Pokemon that really can't evolve. But the problem here is that at least there's been better Pokemon before this, and way more useful and better looking ones that came after Dunsparce. As for how it performs, for some of the earlier generations that was introduced, it performs kinda like a worse Bunnelby. Worse since at least Bunnelby can evolve into Diggersby, but anywho. Dunsparce learns a small mix of normal type attacks as well as ground type moves starting in Generation 4. Even as far as Generation 7, it doesn't learn much more than that. The odd flying type move for sure, but still pretty basic. Dragon Rush? Come on, Dunsparce, stay in your lane. Outside of that, I don't know, it's just this little thing that made a big impression just out of pure curiosity. That's pretty much it. I don't really know what I could do to help its design. You know what? Add a racing stripe on there too. Nice. For Generation 3, we have Love Disc. I mean, seriously, just look at it. It's such a weird design. Well, I guess to be fair, at least they went with the portrayal of a fake heart rather than what it would look like as a real heart. Ooh, that's a stuff of nightmares right there. And even as late as Generation 7, they don't really learn many moves of a decent variety besides normal and water type naturally. Even its TM's list is lacking of any significant variancy to it. If anything, Alomomola from Generation 5 has pretty much a similar move list, a way better TM's list, a better design, as well as pretty much having a better stat spread other than being slightly slower. If anything, I almost kind of wish that Love Disc would evolve into Alomomola since they look so similar, and in the end that would kind of help with both of their potential. Still kind of done with the heart kind of motif though, but what can you do? Now, there have been many normal flying type Pokemon to grace the series, pretty much one evolution line like the Pidgey line in every generation, including as well a few others along the way. And Generation 4 has one of my favorite variants in the Starly line. Staraptor looks so cool. And yet, they have to share that spot with Chadots. Chadots are fairly basic in design. It's like taking an unknown and slapping a parrot on there. Boom, Chatot. At least Farfetch'd looks like it has like a little swag to it. But most art for Chadots kind of look like it just smelt a really stinky fart. As for its move, it does have one unique feature about it, with it having a signature attack in Chatter. An attack that will always confuse. Ugh, great. As well, apparently you can actually change the sound that Chatter makes in later generations by using the recording device on your DS's, so that's kind of neat I guess, though it's more of a whatever function. There really isn't much to say about Chadots. I mean, sure, it says a lot about Pidgey clones in general, since they pretty much all have similar move sets, except for slightly different gimmicks amongst the group of them. But at least they have potential to be greater things. And when comparing Chadots to the one other Pokemon that's pretty much exactly like it in Farfetch'd, well, sure, Chadots have better stat spread, but Farfetch'd just look way cooler. I mean, I guess to be fair, its little head thing kind of looks like it's a little bit of a fin, so nice. An important thing to note about Generation 5 and onward, for me at least, is that it's kind of hard to compare Pokemon based on like the attacks they learn and the stats and whatever, because I find that power creeping isn't a huge thing for me with these kinds of games. I find that everyone's been kind of balanced out to be like just different versions of themselves, and that way you could pick what kind of Pokemon that you want, and it works fine enough. So really, for Generation 5 onward, it's more or less going to be based upon like the designs and the concept of the Pokemon itself. And hot damn, do Dorrance look dumb. I mean, really, who likes ants? Unless you're an ant hobbyist, they suck. They make hills in your yard and gardens and constantly steal your baskets during picnics. And now Durant has to share a typing with one of the coolest Pokemon ever in Scizor. Nuh-uh, it can't compete. They are so forgettable. The first time that I actually ever encountered one was just outside of Anastar City in Pokemon X. They were introduced in Generation 5. That's how basic they are. Heck, Escavaliers were introduced in Generation 5 with the same typing, and they look way cooler. Durants, they're just stupid. Now, when I was thinking up of stuff to say about this Pokemon, one scene came to mind from the Angry Video Game Nerd.
Gee, what kind of enemy could I have for this game? I have 32 games left I have to program, so I have to hurry up. Ah, safety pin! That'll be perfect. Next game.
And thus Klefki was born. And to think, while the concept of fairy Pokemon being stronger than dragon types does kind of make sense in concept, you're about to tell me that this little thing that I use to distract children is what's going to stop a dragon? Really? And geez, in the Pokemon world, they steal people's keys. That's kind of rude. Though I'm concerned as to what kind of keys it thinks it's taking. One certainly does look like a regular key, maybe to like a shed or something, but the rest kind of look like stupid Fisher-Price toy keys. And I mean, come on. There's no way to put a racing stripe on here. That sucks. And finally, we have what might just be the bottom of the barrel of Pokemon designs. The most disgusting, despicable design that a Pokemon has ever been created to ever represent on this earth, or even just the Pokemon world in general. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Bruxish. Ugh. Good. Nope. Ugh, put it back. To give credit, I guess, kind of looks like Moon Mist ice cream with its coloring. But it's a fish. It probably... Ugh. Blah, gross. Blah. Outside of that, I mean, it is a water psychic typing. There's not a whole lot of them, so that's kind of unique, I guess. But just... Ugh. Oh god, one's not even enough. Ugh. Oh god, just take it off. But anywho, thank you all so much for watching. That's all I got for today. Now, just to be clear, I'm not trying to drag these Pokemon through the mud. If you like them, that's fantastic. All the power to you. And if you like this kind of video and you want to see more, then leave a comment down below with a Pokemon that maybe you want me to take a look at, and maybe I'll highlight your name when I do so. I know, what an honor. But that aside, if you like what you saw, you can click right up here to check out some of my other videos that I've done. Or, if you really feel like it, you can click right up here to subscribe. And until next time, guys, I will see you all later.